Well, here we go. Welcome to the January Sparks Live Healthy Cook-Along with the one and only Olympic gold medalist, Tom Daley.
Me, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this.
Well, thanks for coming along because you're making me dinner tonight, aren't you, Tom?
I'm going to be making some crispy orange no chicken. So we're going to go for a healthy January vibes because I know everyone tries to do the new year, new me. But, you know, new year, it's all about balance. It's all about having healthy food, not cutting out anything major, but having a little bit of an experiment with different foods and getting all of the food groups together.
I feel like this is healthy indulgence.
It is healthy indulgence. It's actually derived from one of my favorite things on the planet, orange chicken, which is, I get more when I'm in the States. It's very like American vibe, like Chinese takeaway thing. But, you know, I wanted to be able to try and do similar to what you've done with like fakeaways before and make something that's a little bit healthier that you can make at home from scratch and just as delicious, but a lot healthier.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. We're going to get the ingredients up on the screen for you now. Tom, do you want to run through your ingredients for the recipe tonight?
So for the no chicken pieces, which we're going to use 2 packs of the Plant Kitchen no chicken pieces, and you've got 3 tablespoons of the corn flour, and then you've got some pepper, chili flakes, and garlic powder just to season everything, and then you've got the olive oil for some light frying of the pieces to get that crispy no chicken texture. And then for the orange sauce, we've got some orange juice, 125 milliliters, 4 tablespoons of maple syrup, a teaspoon of chili flakes, a teaspoon of the turmeric and ginger root paste, and then 2 tablespoons of corn flour, 3 tablespoons of water. That is going to make the sauce, which will then add to the chicken afterwards. And then for later, you can either have your own rice that you're going to be making with the water, or you can just have some microwave whole grain rice that you can pop in the microwave when it's ready to go. And then to garnish, we've got some sesame seeds, we've got some spring onions, and we're going to have some broccoli on the side just to make it extra healthy and have the greens in there.
Extra green. And we'll put the method up on the screen now as well, but you'll have already had this to hand. And we're going to take it nice and slow so you can cook along with us. Let's get to it. Before we actually get to the cooking, I've got tonight's competition to announce. Ooh. If you'd like to win, Tom, get your phone out. You can enter this one. All you have
it's off.
All you have to do is send to the Sparks email address your favourite Plant Kitchen product, and we'll announce the winner later on for a £50 gift card. Not just any gift card, it's obviously an M&S gift card. But onto the cooking. I'm starving, it's dinner time.
My favourite Plant Kitchen thing is the no chicken Kievs. I don't know if you've tried the no chicken Kievs, but they like childhood favourite, but then take it Plant Kitchen, it's even better. So we're going to start with this food.
And that was Juliet Sears from the last cook-along's favourite as well. So a popular product.
It's a good one.
If you haven't tried that, get down to your nearest M&S.
Yes, indeed. Right, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get your Plant Kitchen no chicken pieces. Got 2 packs here. And we're going to just put it into like a large bowl that we can start tossing all of the, like, we'll call it batter, but it's not really a batter. It's just like a nice coating that's going to make it crispy. So you can chuck your no chicken pieces in there. And the great thing about this recipe is it's really versatile. You can use no chicken pieces, or if you want to use prawns, or if you want to use chicken or tofu. I did it last week with tofu. You just get firm tofu. Make sure you press it down, tear it into pieces, and it's a great alternative. So in order to create this crispy coating, what we're going to do is we're going to get the tablespoon, and we're going to do 3 tablespoons of corn flour.
And Tom, you're an Olympic gold medalist. You've been training for so many years. What's your diet like generally? What are your sort of values on food? I mean, I know, but do you have a chef? Because I always thought that when I first met. How does it work?
Yeah, well, there's no chef. It's just me. You know, I like to eat. I mean, I love food. That's what I can live by the motto of like, I live for the next meal. Like for me, it's all about food. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, all the snacks. And I think it's just about having balance and variety, making sure the biggest tip that I can give anyone is just make sure your plate is as colorful as it possibly can be. And you know, that way you're going to get lots of different food groups and get lots of diversity. Exactly. And all the nutrients that you're going to need. Right. So in this, we are going to add a little bit of garlic powder as well.
Garlic powder. And that's a really sort of American way to season things, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. And, you know, with this, you can, depending on how garlicky you like it, you know, I just do like a little teaspoon in there just to add a little bit of garlic flavor to it.
That's a joy of cooking it from scratch. You can adjust it to your own flavors at home.
I often, once I've made something once, I'm like, okay, I might do this a little bit differently, add a little bit more of that, add a little bit more of this. So then a little bit of pepper as well. I wouldn't go probably for a whole teaspoon, maybe half a teaspoon of that. And then you've got some chili flakes as well, just to give it a little bit of kick. And again, some people like spicy, some people don't. So if you just want a little bit of spice, add a little bit. Oh gosh,
go,
I've just chucked it all over the table as well. Yeah, exactly.
And when you're sort of doing competition or the night before, because some athletes have rituals and stuff like that, do you have anything like that? Do you have to eat like 3 slices of something specific? Some people have some crazy things in sport, don't they?
You know what I did do, because when you go to the Olympic Village, you have like there's this whole dining hall experience, which is quite a lot, and you can go in there and you can get very carried away because there's every kind of food you can imagine, from super healthy to super unhealthy. So I tried to, before I left, have like 4 weeks in the build-up where I was eating a very similar thing, so that I knew that when I got there, I wasn't distracted by the things that weren't necessarily good for the build-up to the Olympics. But other than that, like I love trying new foods. I love trying different cuisines, from different places, and that's something that really excites me.
Yeah, because you get to travel the world with it, don't you?
So. Exactly. And then so once we've got everything in the bowl, we're just going to have a little bit of a mix it round.
Yeah.
You can just, if it's not coating well, you can use your fingers to really get in there. Obviously, make sure you've washed your hands first.
We're good at that now, though, aren't we? Washing hands.
Exactly. We've had a lot of practice at that. So as you can see, that's kind of put that lovely little coating on it. So it's going to be ready to add to the frying pan. So what we're going to do is we are going to get some of the olive oil to get into the pan to start heating this up.
What would you say your favourite country's been food-wise with sport that you've been able to travel to?
I would say my favourite place, it's a difficult one because I've been to Japan, for example, traveling, and then I've been to Japan with the Olympics. So I've been there for sport and not sport. So I love Asian food. That's like one of my biggest, but then also, I've got to say, I've had some of the best food that I've ever had in Barcelona.
Okay.
When we went there for our honeymoon, there was this one restaurant, I can't remember what it's called, but there was this tortellini that was like to die for. And it was like incredible. So yeah, just food generally for me is like so with this, I've added a drizzle to the pan, letting it heat up. And some would say that's like quite a large drizzle, and it is. Yeah. So it's a little bit indulgent there, I know. But if you wanted to make it a little bit extra crispy, the amount of olive oil in there, if you use a little bit less, obviously there's less calories in that, but then as soon as you add a little bit more, add to make it a little bit crispy. Yeah. But that's the big difference with when you go to a takeaway and you order something, it's been like deep fried in all of the oil, and it's got everything in it. So just making sure that you've got that little bit of oil in there. So make sure
we are using olive oil as well, which is a good oil to have. And we're going to show you how to drain off that excess fat as well, because this comes in at about 500 calories, but not necessarily just the food. It's actually what we cook our food in that impacts the calorific value. So just varying the amount of oil is key. That will take a while to heat up. I will warn you on that. We better.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll let that heat up. And you don't want to put it in there when it's a little bit until it's like hot, because you want it to have a little bit of a sizzle so that it actually creates that crispiness on the outside. And so I think that's something that's really important. And this has all been worked out with the M&S nutritionists, so they know what they're doing with the portions and what's added into it, because there's some things that I do slightly differently depending on who I'm cooking for. If I want to be a bit more indulgent, for example, with the sauce that we're about to make, I sometimes use soy sauce in it to add a little bit of extra flavor. So if you've got any hanging around, you want to add a little bit at the end, great. But we've taken the soy sauce out to reduce the salt intake, which is going to make it healthier in turn. So first of all, with this sauce,
and you're quite an intuitive cook, aren't you? We've cooked together a few times, and I don't know, people might have a picture in their head thinking, oh, you must meticulously weigh everything out. You just sort of throw it in there, don't you? Use your intuition.
Exactly. I mean, once you've cooked a few things, sometimes you just end up like figuring out what you like, what you enjoy, what you want to add, what you don't want to add. So with this sauce, for example, most of the time at home, I'm like glug, 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 a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I had to make it so that it's easier to follow along. So 125 milliliters of this sauce.
Orange juice, smooth.
Smooth. I love a bit of. I think with this, it's better to be smooth. But the great thing about this is that you can either use orange juice or you can use fresh oranges and squeeze the same amount of juice. And also, if you want to add a little bit of extra zing, just zest a little bit of the orange skin into it as well, and it will just give it a little bit of
kick,
va-va-voom, if you like. So the nice thing about this is that it's a kind of mixing the sweet and savory. And again, to this, you can add things like, you can fry off some onions and peppers before and add that into it. But today we're going for the stripped back version, or not even necessarily stripped back. It's just
The original version.
You're going, it's the original version, exactly. So we are going in with 4 tablespoons of maple syrup.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can do this right, because...
1. But I think the fact you've chosen this recipe, and it's based on kind of like a fast food Chinese thing, it shows that you do eat normal food like a normal person, and you enjoy your treat and a takeaway.
Yeah, food is like...
It's a joy, right?
Yeah, you have to enjoy your food.
It's part of life.
Yeah, if you feel like you're missing out, if you start like cutting massive things out of your diet, like, you know, if you say, you know, I've got a sweet tooth. Obviously, you know, eating loads of sugar is not healthy for you. That's a given. People know that. But if you say, oh, I'm never going to eat sugar ever again, the first thing you crave?
Sugar. So what's your favourite, I don't know, top 3 M&S sweet treats?
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. So whenever I go into my M&S, local M&S, which is M&S Bankside, I go in there. Shout out to M&S Bankside. The bakery always smells divine there. And so I always, well, I say always, I don't always pick up a bag of cookies, but the white chocolate cookies for me are like a must. And again,
I know sales of them tomorrow are going to go through the roof after this.
No, but it's just like, there's something about this. It's so nice about like those cookies. They're just amazing. Also, Robbie's favorite thing are croissants. So if you go there in the morning, Robbie's always has a fresh croissant. That's like one of his all-time favorite things. And I know a little bit rogue, but I do love a trifle.
It's classic. It's an M&S classic as well. A trifle. You can't go wrong with a good trifle.
Yeah,
good choice.
And then, I mean, then also there's like the treacle spud, like microwave treacle spud, like those are delicious, and sticky toffees.
I feel like we could just go through everything.
All in moderation.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, all in moderation. So in here we've got the orange juice and the maple syrup already.
Yeah.
So now we're going to add a little teaspoon of chili flakes.
As well, the thing I love about this, it's stuff that you'd probably even have. Everyone's got some fresh orange juice and a pinch of chili and the maple syrup. You could use honey maybe if you had it or something like that.
And then we're going to get this into it.
We're going to use the turmeric paste. Helen tonight is asking, could you use something else other than the turmeric paste?
Yeah, of course. You could use fresh ginger if you don't necessarily like the turmeric taste. You could use fresh ginger if you wanted to just add that in. And you know, I like to use a bit of fresh ginger in there sometimes in addition to this because I love ginger.
You love ginger.
Yeah,
and it's good, isn't it? I believe it's got anti-inflammatory properties.
Exactly. It's very good for you. I love a ginger tea. You know, you can create like ginger, lemon and honey tea. It's delicious. So in there now, I'm just going to make sure this paste goes.
Could you make more sauce if you wanted it more saucy? Some people like it really. Yeah.
So this sauce, once we chuck it on the chicken pieces, will actually reduce down quite dramatically. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now that I think this pan is probably hot. Oh yeah, that's definitely hot enough.
So your pan should definitely be hot enough at home.
And if you're going to be doing your rice without being in the microwave, you might want to get that going sooner rather than later. So look, you're going to
hear a sizzle. If you don't hear a sizzle, don't put it in the pan.
You got a sizzle.
Yeah.
Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Right, and we're going to leave that to go in there until it gets nice and crispy, and we're going to give that.
I've got a question for you, Tom.
Go for it.
You've won your gold medal. What is the first meal that you had after that?
The thing is, because I was in the village, there wasn't necessarily anything that I was like, oh my gosh, I think the first thing I had was sushi, some like a big bowl of noodles, and then I had a tub of ice cream.
Living the dream.
It's like one of those individual portions. Although it's a big one, to be fair. But yeah, so that was good. I mean, it's one of those things that as soon as you finish competing, all you want to do is just eat. You're like, oh my gosh, I've done it. I've been so good for so long. And then you just eat everything in sight, basically. So, and then adding to the sauce, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of corn flour. That's going to thicken it when it's time to... Yeah. I'm going to just get that last bit in there. Probably just like a little bit extra. There you go. So you got I'm going to mix it in as we go so things don't get too...
Lee has just commented he's a big fan of the Eccles cakes from the bakery. Oh, Lee, I'll be giving them a go tomorrow. I'm going to get down to my M&S. So shout out to Hammersmith M&S. That's my local. Oh. Battle of the London M&S is here.
Oh, Bankside's a good one, though.
Bankside's a good one. We've been in there.
Yeah, we have. I would say one tip that I would do for corn flour, if you're going to add it to a sauce, put the corn flour in a little pot and then add a bit of water to it and dissolve it in there first and make a paste before you chuck it in.
Is that enough to cover the amount of chicken we've done tonight, do you think?
Yeah, it will, because it literally just sticks to it and it goes into it. And then you're going to add a little bit of water to it anyway. So I'll get some water from behind us. Yeah. Although I don't know how I'm going to do 3 tablespoons.
Oh, I'm sure we can eyeball 3 tablespoons.
I was like, you've got some here?
No, I've got no water.
Okay, right, here we go.
I trust you with it. 3 tablespoons of water. Any questions for Tom Daley? Now's your chance. Get them in. Doesn't just have to be food related. Whatever you want to know, keep it clean there.
Yeah, exactly. Get all the questions.
So, yeah,
right, okay, so that's done.
that.
Yep, Chris is going to be on dishes duty tonight.
I am actually. Tom cooks dinner. I'm washing up.
It's the rules, right? So, right, I'm going to get over here to the chicken and see if that's how this is doing. You're going to just move it around, get a little bit of color on it. Again, the more you have, like, in terms of like how much oil you put in, it's going to depend on how crispy it's going to be.
The thing is, though, if you want to make it a bit more crispy, if your pan looks a bit dry, add a bit more oil to it.
Because the corn flour will soak up quite a lot of stuff.
So. And I think we've done a bit more chicken than the recipe, so we're just going to throw a little more in.
We put 2 packs in. It's just, just be mindful of your oil, the amount of oil you're using. That's I would say.
It smells great already. I can smell that garlic sizzling away.
I love garlic.
It's actually starting to smell a bit like your classic sort of Chinese takeaway, but the joy is we know exactly what's in there. And
like one thing I would say for the sauce as well, if you want to add some fresh garlic in there as well, you can add that to the sauce, depending on how much garlic you like, because obviously that's got some garlic powder in it already. So, I think I can already smell the garlic, so I'm pretty satisfied with the garlic. Like, I think we got a good amount of garlic to
Jill is asking,
sauce ratio.
Jill says if you don't like chili, can use a different spice.
If you don't want to have chili in it, you don't have to have chili in it whatsoever. The main thing about it is the orange and the flavors that come with that. So honestly, if you don't particularly like chili or you don't like spice, don't worry about it. Don't add it in. If you like super spicy, add more in. It's very much a personalized thing, honestly. So
that is always the joy of cooking it from scratch, isn't it? Making it to your own tastes. Indeed. Just trimming off the little woody ends of this broccoli for you, Tom.
You can trim that off, and then I'm going to put the broccoli into steam.
Steamer. That's a nice, healthy way to cook it. What's your favourite veg? What do you eat the most of?
I would say broccoli, actually. I also love doing kale in the oven. So, like, you get a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, coat it, and, like, squeeze the kale to, like, really get it all over it, and then put it in the oven for, like, 10 minutes at, like, 200. Comes so crispy. It's Robbie's favourite as well. Like, he always asks for the crispy greens.
What's Robbie like with eating? Is he a good eater?
He eats everything and anything. Good. I've always cooked for him from such a young age that he's so used to,
Wow, that's definitely steaming.
It's definitely steaming. Right, let me make sure I can actually close the lid on this.
Peter wants to know, Tom, do you think we'll get high diving events in the UK, 20 metres or 27 metres, and would you consider it?
I've been up there before after a World Championships in Barcelona, and it was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. I would not personally ever do it. Have
you jumped off? Or
No. 10 meters is plenty for me. They do a cliff diving competition in Wales.
Okay.
They also do one in Ireland on the tour that they do. I think they're trying to get it into the Olympics, actually.
Cliff diving?
Yeah. It's 27. So women do 20 meters and the men do 27.
And is there any moves involved, or is it literally just diving?
You're only allowed to land on your feet.
Oh,
because if you land on your head, your arms would break. It's so intense when you land.
So anyone on holiday jumping off cliffs, going feet first.
Yeah, going feet first, please. Especially, and also,
check it's deep enough.
I was going to say check it's deep enough. Like, we do not condone. We don't want people to jump off cliffs on holiday.
What scares me about the 10 meter. How far down at the pool I go?
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 meters deep. Yeah. So I'm also going to just, while that's all cooking, start chopping some of these salad onions, just to garnish the top. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, it's about
5 meters deep.
Yeah, it's 5 meters deep, and it's like just something that I've gotten used to. I don't actually use all 5 meters though. You only end up using probably, I don't know, maybe 3 meters of it. I'm going to keep looking down so I don't chop my fingers off.
Don't chop your fingers off.
I've been known to chop a finger or two, me.
What about sort of training days? What's your diet like on a typical day of training leading up to the Olympics? How does all that work?
For me, it's about making sure I fuel properly before a training session as well as after. Yeah. Because you have the... One of my big rules is trying to do 20 grams of protein and 20 grams of carbs within 20 minutes of finishing a training session, just as a way of replenishing and getting ready for the next training session, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's something that I find to be really good and useful and important. But mainly, I end up having to eat not as much as what people would usually think or consider, because diving's very much a power and explosive power sport. It's not something that you would... expend loads of hours. It's not like I'm running a marathon every day. So it's very...
But that does lead us on to your running. What's coming up next for you, Tom?
Well, that is going to be announced on February 9th. So,
oh, exclusive. Well, yeah, stay tuned.
February 9th, stay tuned. There's something coming.
Update.
But I'm doing something. I'm training for something.
You're keeping
and all
fit.
will be revealed. I'm keeping extremely fit at the moment, and it will be very exciting once it's all revealed. So, do you have one of these at home? I've got one of these at home that's got TD on it.
Oh yeah, I've got a CB one.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I love it. I use it all the time to cook my eggs.
I'll be honest, the M&S cookware, I use it. Tom uses it. It's really good. It's ultra non-stick, and I tell you what, I find amazing: the roasting tins for like a Sunday roast and stuff like that. Brilliant, and they have a heat-proof sort of. Looks like the base of a pan on the bottom, so you can put it on the hob and do your gravy afterwards.
Also, Robbie loves the kids stuff as well, like the little kids mixing bowl and the kids like spatula. We bake with those all the time. So now we're just waiting for the chicken to get crispy.
It smells lovely.
Again, this is with, obviously the more. Again, not saying everyone should use loads of oil, but it gets nice and crispy. I've got this with like a moderate amount of oil, and you can also go on the complete other end of it and not have to coat it whatsoever. It wouldn't be necessarily crispy, but it'll still be delicious with all the sauce that we're about to put in. So, okay, I think this is really
from
ready.
Susan, Tom.
Yes,
what is
Susan.
your favourite thing to cook at home, and what is Lance's favourite meal?
Lance loves to cook Mexican food, so he makes chocolate mole enchiladas.
Oh, I need to come around and try some chocolate mole enchiladas.
Those are really good. They're like chili chocolate vibe. That's one thing in the UK that we struggle to find. It's like really, really good Mexican food in the same way that you can get it in California or in Texas. Like the Mexican food there is absolutely incredible. And honestly, what the favorite thing I like to cook, I made a salmon en cru for New Year, which was like
nice.
I mean, I love that. That's like one of my favorite things to make. And I made a French onion soup as well.
You make all sorts of stuff, don't you? Because you eat such a variety of food.
Yeah, exactly.
Linda wants to know, obviously, well, we all know you're into your knitting now.
Yes.
Which is going incredibly well. Congratulations. But
thank you.
Linda wants to know, have you ever thought about knitting with spaghetti?
I've so many people over the last couple of days have sent me that photo of that. There's someone knitting out of a ramen bowl with chopsticks. Yeah. And it looks like quite I feel like I should try it. Yeah. I mean, next time I order a ramen or anything with noodles, I'm going to get knitting. There you go.
Yeah. Noodle restaurants, watch out. Tom's on his way.
I'm on my way, and we're going to get some knitting going. Right, I think we're good with this now to get going with the...
Great.
And I did not set a timer or not know how long the broccoli's been.
It's all right. I'll keep my eyes on it.
And we'll get going with this. So I reckon we can go in. Again, make sure that the pan's nice and hot when you put the sauce in, because the sauce is going to sizzle. Yeah. It's going to go, and then it's going to bubble really quickly a lot. And then, in theory, it's all going to condense down because of the corn flour that's in it.
And for anyone that's going to do microwave rice, how long will we have? When will we need to get that in? How soon will this be
I would say this is going to take about exactly the time that a microwave rice is going to take.
So we're probably going to say, get your microwave rice in the microwave now. Indeed. And we are going to be joined by Sophia, the M&S nutritionist. So if you've got any questions related to this recipe or just nutrition in general, start getting them in now, because we're going to eat this together at the end.
I can really smell the ginger.
Oh, wow. That smells so good. And you can see it's instantly thickening up.
Instantly thickening up. And you can see it's going to get all nice and sticky and crispy.
I was going to say, Tom, you're going to beat me to doing the cookbook, but you already have. You've already got 2 on the shelf. Doing my study with them, yeah.
But, I'm excited for yours to make things easy, you know what I'm saying?
Well, this is it. That, honestly, I'm not just saying it because he stood right there, but that looks delicious.
Hopefully it tastes it.
The sauce is like sticky and shiny and glossy. And the easiest way to describe it is like proper Chinese takeaway food. Chinese New Year is coming up. This would be a great thing for everyone to cook with a family at home. If you've not cooked along live, go away, make it. Tag me and Tom in your pictures. I can't wait to see your creations.
Absolutely.
Someone in here doesn't like chili, because I can hear someone coughing over there. You get the sense of the chili in the air, don't you?
Yeah, no, it's quite.
I think broccoli. Let's have a little look at that.
No, this is just about ready. As you can see, it's as you can see that it's gone really nice and sticky, and that's the sugars in the maple syrup, and then the corn flour in the sauce has thickened this sauce up nicely. Yeah. And again, if you this is like the base of what you could have as an orange chicken. You could add your onions in there. You could add your peppers. some may hate me for saying this, but you can add your pineapple in there. I'm a big pineapple on a pizza,
Oh,
pineapple
there
and
you
sweet and
go.
sour. I'm all for it. So if you want to add anything extra in there like that,
Or
it's
do
all
it with
be great.
real chicken or
Real chicken,
prawns. Yeah.
tofu.
Yeah.
You could really do it with anything. You could even
even like diced sweet potato.
exactly.
Veggies.
I mean, if you've got like anything that's kind of going to hold its shape, you could do it with, you know, so even some fish. If you were to use like monkfish, for example, that holds together quite nicely.
I'm genuinely making this at the weekend, 100%.
Right, well, here we go. This is ready. I'm going to take this off the heat so it doesn't
just
reduce down
leave that
too
aside.
much.
Just waiting for our rice to come in with Sophia.
Yeah,
so get your nutrition questions at the ready. Competition closes in 3 minutes, guys.
Ooh,
so
3 minutes. Get
your favourite M&S Plant Kitchen product to the Sparks Live email address. £50 up for grabs.
Oh, yeah.
What
are you going to get with that?
What would you buy with that?
So now it's Valentine's Day coming up, isn't it?
Valentine's Day.
Some nice chocolates, maybe a dine-in for two.
Dine-in for two, bottle of wine.
But maybe with the £50, you could even get a bottle of champagne with that as well, or a little like bottle of prosecco.
So I would be buying all the ingredients to make your orange chicken.
Oh, and that,
and a nice bottle of wine to go with it for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And some chocolates for dessert.
Indeed.
And when I'm in there, I'd probably buy some white chocolate cookies off the bakery after your recommendation.
Even a trifle.
And a trifle. Hey, you get loads for £50 at M&S.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you probably get a lot. You get a lot.
You do get a lot.
Yeah.
Julie wants to know, do you grow your own veg?
You grow not successfully. I do grow a lot, and I have lots of plants at home, and I often use all of like the leftover jars after cooking and things like that for plant propagation. Strawberries we always have every year. We've not done any vegetables successfully because we've got like a roof garden. It's not really like a garden, so it's hard to do that. But you know. And
Karen's just joined, NHS nurse. She's running 2 hours late. Can you give a recap of what we've done? Because I'm guessing Karen wants to make some nice dinner tonight.
So the recap essentially was what we've got in here is the no chicken pieces that were coated with garlic powder, corn flour, a little bit of chili and some pepper. Then we tossed that all together in a bowl. Then we chucked it in here to fry it off with a little bit of oil. And then once we did that, we started to create the sauce, which had the orange juice in it. It had some corn flour in it. It had a little bit of chili flakes. It also had some maple syrup, orange juice, and I think that was, and the turmeric and ginger paste, but you can also use fresh ginger. And then we've got some broccoli on here steaming. Once that was all crispy, we poured in the sauce into here, and it all like condensed down really nicely. And as you can see, it's nice and sticky, and it's getting stickier by the second, which is fabulous.
And it's as easy as that, Karen. So hopefully you make it tonight. Let's move that over there.
Great.
Let's welcome
Ready
Sophia.
Ready with the rice. Hello,
M&S
nutritionist.
Yeah.
Made it all nice and healthy for us.
Smelling very good. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that oil going in the pan.
I was like heavy-handed on the oil.
Safe to say, at least we're using an olive oil, so a bit of a healthier fat going on.
Is it healthy rice tonight?
Healthy rice. We've got our whole grain pouches here, so really convenient way to add fibre into your diet.
An easy swap.
An easy swap to make.
And
you can also swap with our lovely other grain bags too, which have lots of fibre, and the quinoa pouch also has protein in there too, so it's another good way to get protein into your diet as well.
This Italian grains, that's my Mark's fave. It really is delicious, that one. There you go.
So simple, just to add to a dish as well. Helps keep you really full, so you're having that carbohydrate if you're refueling as well.
Yeah.
Well, should we play it up?
Go for it. I'm going to leave this over to you before
I'm going to do a little
bit. There you go.
All right, so how much rice are we saying here? What's the proper portion? Because you're going
So these are a served 2 pouch.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but depending on what you've done in the day, as we said, it's all about balance. So if you've been a bit more active in the day and you want to fill yourself up, then
this one's winning gold medal, so you
can
have a full bag.
So you can have a little bit more,
you deserve a bit more rice.
Than those have been sat at a desk.
I think that is a good portion.
It's a good portion of rice.
There we are.
I think you'd want too much more than that.
No, because we've got the lovely veggies to put on the side too. And really try and start filling your plate up with veggies is a great way to make sure you're feeling fueled.
That's so
looking good,
sticky and delicious. I don't know about you, but I like putting it right on top of the
Go
rice.
for it.
Okay, bed of rice, and there we go.
It smells so good.
There we go. Hopefully, it tastes just as delicious as well.
So, tell me more about your role here at Marks and Spencer's. What do you?
So
what's a standard day in the life?
Well, it can be a very varied day for a nutritionist.
Yeah.
So typically we often think of a nutritionist as being sort of clinic, one-on-one consultations, but in industry we try and make sure that we're acting as a responsible retailer and driving our health agenda, making sure there's lots of healthy products on the shelf. So I work very closely with our Eat Well brand. So if you spot the sunflower on something like Orange Juice here, it highlights all the healthy choices in our store. So I work really close with our clever product developers to make sure we've got lots of healthy choices.
Okay, so what should we look out for on the packs when we're shopping, because we're all busy now? I know there can be a lot of salt in certain products and the traffic light system.
So traffic lights are a really simple way just to try and have a first look at the greens, reds and ambers. So, less reds in the diet, make sure we're avoiding too much saturated fat or salt.
Okay.
But as I mentioned, our Eat Well sunflower is something, bespoke to M&S, and it's been developed on strict nutrition guidelines that we approve as a team. And it also means that every product has a health benefit. So something like our Plant Kitchen no chicken pieces, which we've been using today, they're high in fibre, they're high in protein, so they're a great way of adding protein into a plant-based diet. So look out for the sunflower if you want to make
easy choice as well to make.
Absolutely, and delicious because it's M&S.
Well, this is it.
Always
it's got to be delicious first.
This looks delicious, and I need the one thing that is missing is forks. I'll get that. Don't worry. Hold the fork.
We got some sesame seeds going on top of here.
So nice.
A little bit of decoration, but also a little bit of taste. I mean, I just chucked them on like this for a little bit of a garnish to make it look, fancy. But again, you can toast these if you want for a little bit of it, bring extra bit of flavour out. And then also, I love whenever you've got something that's a little bit sweet, if you add a little bit of spring onion on top, like salad onion, it just cuts through it, a little bit of freshness. And the same with if I'm cooking Mexican stuff, I love just putting some fresh coriander on top. This isn't very coriander type meal, but this
I like the spring
helps
onions.
Get towards your 5 a day as well,
Exactly.
so a bit more veg on
it's
there.
Another colour, isn't it? That's what you mentioned earlier. It's about eating all the different
Eat the rainbow.
colours. Eat the rainbow.
Totally.
There you go.
Well, there we go.
Look at this, Tom.
It looks amazing.
Thanks for cooking me dinner and leaving me the washing up.
I'll definitely leave you to that.
There you go.
It's always good trying to get all that
Chris.
caramelised sugar off the pan as well. So good luck with that.
Good luck. Well, good luck with that. It's easy. It's an M&S non-stick pan. It's going to come straight off, Tom. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so curious how this is going to be.
No, it looks so good.
Veggies as well.
It's good with the sweet and the savoury, and also it's got quite a bit of a kick to it.
Really fragrant, actually. Yeah, it's lovely.
You can taste the turmeric and ginger paste.
So
I'm going to eat the whole thing. I made this last week for Robbie, and Robbie absolutely loved it.
Absolutely delicious.
So good.
And so easy. I love that. Most of the sauce ingredients you probably got in the cupboard. We use the sort of Plant Kitchen range, but if you wanted to eat meat or prawns, throw that in. I can't believe how simple and easy that is, and delicious. So thanks, Tom. Thanks for my dinner.
So many different veg that would go on the side too. If you want to mix it up with different colours, helps you get lots more different vitamins and minerals in there too.
Yeah, would that be the way to make this even more healthy?
Yeah, I always like to think of when you're trying to make something even more healthy, just think about what colour can you add and even a bit of crunch. So we've got lovely sesame seeds here, but even topping with different nuts and seeds can be a great way to get nutrients into the diet. Or red peppers, or thinking about pak choy. Yeah. Just about that variety really and balance, like you said before.
Variety is the key, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's a spice of life.
Yeah, it is the spice of life. I think one thing I've personally started to do is just from everything like we talk about, whatever, you get in the habit of buying the same veg to go on the side of something. Just vary it. Or if you always eat apples, try pears and then get oranges, just variety.
And thinking about seasonality too can be a great way to think, what's coming up in the season? That means I'm getting different variety of vegetables or fruit. Keeps it interesting. It's a good way to get kids involved with trying different things, eating the rainbow.
Brussels sprouts are my all-time favourite veggie.
Yeah.
All time for the year as well.
Not
just for I did roast some Brussels sprouts with honey and miso paste. Absolutely delicious. Really good. But not as nice as this, Tom, obviously. That is really good. Here's a question for you. Cholesterol cues. Can you eat to reduce it?
So cholesterol is an interesting one because we all hear about cholesterol and sometimes automatically think, bad cholesterol. But there are two types of cholesterol. So we have our LDL cholesterol, which is our bad cholesterol, and our HDL. I try and remember that as happy cholesterol, HDL cholesterol. So what we need to think about is the ratio of cholesterol, and the way in which you improve your good cholesterol is by replacing saturated fats with unsaturated. So if you're eating things like a lot of butter, or if you're eating even things like coconut oil, it's best to think about replacing with things like olive oil, or nuts are very low in saturated fat. So just think about making those different swaps. And there are foods like oats, which have beta glucans into, which can help lower your cholesterol. So
I love
lots of
oats.
things you can do.
Porridge every day
Great way
for
to
me.
start the day.
Porridge is like it's like, oh, just, yeah.
What do you have on top of your porridge, Tom?
See, it depends, but like, I love all the different types. So, you know, sometimes peanut butter, sometimes you have like frozen berries in it, whatever. But all-time favorite is porridge with a little bit of a drizzle of maple syrup. It's like,
Can't beat that.
it's just like, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, when I was training, I didn't have anything. It was just very much plain bowl of porridge and some eggs, and tried to vary it on the days that I wasn't training.
Yeah.
But I knew what I was getting from a bowl of porridge and the eggs that I would eat in the morning. So
it's great for sort of balancing out your blood sugar too, and slow release within the day. So it kind of keeps you sustained in that way. You won't have spike, which is great. Yeah.
The new Plant Kitchen no chicken pieces. Can you tell us more?
Well, they're made from whey and pea protein. What I love about these as a vegan, or, you know, if you're shifting your diet to be more plant-based, is that you are still getting protein in the diet. So protein is important to consider when we're moving away from things like meat and fish, as well as other nutrients as well. But the Plant Kitchen pieces here act really well when we're thinking about, you know, replacing a meat product. So if we're replacing chicken, let's choose something that's got high in protein, and it also is high in fibre too. So helps get to your 30 grams of fibre a day.
And it also tastes good.
That's good.
A winner, isn't it? And the texture, I love that as well.
And I think you just don't expect that it's going to, you don't feel like you're missing out, which is the main thing.
My husband is pescatarian. So when we make fajitas, for example, usually we used to either do like prawn fajitas or chicken fajitas, but then we use these no chicken pieces all the time when we're making, and you just, you know, it's great to have
soak up that flavour.
And you get in the habit of just buying them as part of your sort of weekly shop. Have we got all the competition entries in? Are we working on picking a winner? Yeah, competition is now closed. So the winner is coming in soon. And Charlie wants to know, before we announce the winner, how can he increase his fibre intake?
Wow, Charlie, I love talking about fibre. So great question. We actually don't get enough fibre in our diet. We're only getting around 18 grams a day, and we should be trying to hit 30. So it's really important for your digestion, and fibre, you know, it's getting it in the diet. It's just all about increasing that fruit and veg within your diet. Lots of, you know, this broccoli has fibre within it, but also trying to think about grains. And often we shy away from carbohydrates. They've been slightly demonized, and we need to think about whole grains that we're getting in the diet that also add fibre and protein, and a really healthy way to keep you full up. So starting the day with fibre in oats, or thinking about having a Weetabix, is a good way to sort of get you on your way to 30 grams. All about variety.
3 favourite Eat Well products from yourself?
That was really hard for me. Yeah. I did get told today from SPARKS that I'm actually one of the #1 avocado buyers, so I thought that was quite on brand.
And what was the other one? The #1. Tell us about kefir, because that's getting really popular now, isn't it?
Kefir is a great Eat Well product. It's actually live yogurt. It has lots of lovely cultures and probiotics in there to help feed a healthy gut. So I'm very pro kefir in the morning. Have it with your porridge. It's a great shout. I absolutely also love the passion fruit pouch. Can't get away from that one because it's so convenient. It's got 9 grams of fibre in it, and it's one of your fibre days.
You'll be working on the shopping channels. I love this. Can you click through to buy this stuff now? Because
like
the sales would
QVC,
be going through the roof. And the competition winner is now in. Tom, we'll do the honours up on the screen there.
Oh, we got a lovely winner today, and that is Jill. Wow. Bachelor.
Well done,
congratulations.
Jill.
£50 voucher on its way to you.
Lovely.
Fill up that basket with some Eat Well products.
Absolutely.
It's been really fun tonight, Tom. Thanks
I've nearly eaten this whole thing, and I know we're having a bit of food after this.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna.
We've had your starter.
Don't tell him from the nutritionist. It's my starter before we go into.
No, thanks for coming along. That is delicious. I hope you go away and make this at home. I'm definitely going to be making it. One to think about for Chinese New Year. If you make it, tag us in your pictures, tag Marks and Spencer's, and I look forward to seeing them. And you'll be joining us next time here at Sparks Live for a special Valentine's edition with Fred, and there might be a bit of booze involved. So you can't, you're not allowed to see that.
It's all about balance.
It is. It's all about balance. That's the message from tonight. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
And thanks for my dinner.
He's
polished it off. Right. Well, we'll see you all soon.
Bye.
I'm off my dinner. That's so good, Tom.